This is me 14 years ago when I used to do big shows in stage hypnosis. But I gave up performing with hypnosis, got a PhD in clinical psychology, and now I work in the world-leading research laboratory that studies hypnosis. And I'm going to tell you how stage hypnosis works. And there's actually a whole chapter about it in this book that we just published. I'll start by saying that stage hypnosis is not a hoax, a trick, or an illusion. It also doesn't involve any mind control over innocent subjects by some person who calls themselves a hypnotist. It's actually pretty simple. Hypnosis shows have a lot of interesting dynamics at play. Typically, stage hypnotists ask for volunteers to come up on stage. And that act of volunteering is pretty powerful. A person has to be pretty willing and open to the experience to leave the comfort of their seat in the audience to go on stage. And for all the volunteers on stage, there is now a high expectancy that something is going to happen. So you mix all those factors with basic principles of hypnosis, and you've got the perfect storm. And naturally, the volunteers on stage are going to have different levels of hypnotizability. So the stage hypnotist is going to keep all the people who are highly hypnotizable and responsive to the suggestions and tell everybody else to go sit back down. Then the rest of the show can be entertaining for the audience because they are witnessing these volunteers on stage having bizarre experiences that are a mismatch from reality. And I know that a lot of people like to claim that the volunteers are just acting. And that's kind of right, but it's more accurate to say that they are reacting. Obviously, the things that the stage hypnotist is saying aren't actually happening in reality. But to the people on stage, it feels like those bizarre and silly circumstances are actually happening. Then the audience is entertained by watching these genuine reactions to these bizarre circumstances that are a mismatch from reality. So even though it might look like they're acting, they're really just reacting, and that's what's so funny. Honestly, one of my favorite things about doing big stage hypnosis shows was almost always there would be an audience member who's in the audience, had no intention of coming up on stage, but they would enter a state of hypnosis, and then they'd be experiencing the things in their seat that the people on stage were also experiencing. And usually the people around them would try to get my attention, and I would bring that person up on stage and they'd finish the rest of the show on stage. Anyway, if you've ever seen stage hypnosis, I want to know what you found most entertaining.